Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another action movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing The Stranger, released in 1995. The Stranger stars Kathy Long, Andrew Divoff, Eric Pierpoint, Robin Lynn Heath, Ash Adams, Ginger Lynn Allen, Hunter von Leer, David Anthony Marshall, Danny Trejo, Nils Allen Stewart, Faith Minton, Randy Vasquez, and Rosey Brown. The Stranger was directed by Fritz Kiersch, based on a script written by Gregory Poirier. Now, this is a starring vehicle for Kathy Long after she did some very memorable stunt double work for Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman on Batman Returns, as I mentioned in my review for that. This was one of her first real leading roles in a film. She had played some supporting roles in some other films, but this was her first chance to get an actual lead character in it. She plays the stranger of the title. And this film is very much a modern take on the Western film High Plains Drifter from Clint Eastwood. And it is very well done. As opposed to using guns and everything, though, to kill the people that she's after. Kathy Long, of course, resorts to using her kickboxing skills. And she is quite impressive with those skills.
Got a smart mouse, bitch.
My name's not bitch.
The score in this film was composed by Kevin Kiner, and you can tell that it is very much influenced by the Man with a Harmonica theme from Once Upon a Time in the West. And it works great. That take on the music, it works great in this film, which is, like I said, it is a very much modern version of High Plains Drifter. Kathy Long's character of the Stranger is a character that was killed years earlier. She was the girlfriend to Sheriff Gordon Cole, played by Eric Pierpoint. And Angel, played by Andrew Divoff, is the big biker that basically comes into this small little town and takes over every once in a while. And the town just steps aside and lets him do whatever the hell he wants. They'll let them run little drug operations through their little area. They'll let them do anything. And Andrew Divoff plays the character of Angel so well. I mean, he is always good in films. And prior to this, he played Cherry Gans in Another 48 Hours. And ironically, one of his crew member in that film alongside his Gans character was played by David Anthony Marshall, who in this film plays a character named Harvard, because his character is supposed to be the real smart one. So anytime somebody's wanting to know the answers to something, they turn to Harvard and ask him, and he immediately can answer any questions. So he's a really, really intelligent biker in the group. And it's almost similar to the same role that he played in Another 48 Hours. It's almost like those two characters were carried over between Another 48 Hours and The Stranger here, which is so cool, because I really did like those two characters in Another 48 Hours, even though they were the bad guys, because of the performances by Andrew Divoff and David Anthony Marshall. So you have an early role from Danny Trejo in here, and he plays a character named Hawk, and he's great as always. Hunter von Leer also plays in this film, playing the mayor. And if you were thinking he was going to be this really cool mayor in this, kind of like he played the cool deputy in Halloween 2, you'd be sorely mistaken. Because his character in this is, he's one of those that just lets the town be overrun by these biker assholes, and lets them do what the hell they want. And though his character may be infuriating, he's nowhere near as infuriating as the character of Sally Womack, played by Ginger Lynn Allen, and her dipshit boyfriend, Deputy Steve Stowe, played by Ash Adams. Now, Ash Adams' character is supposed to be like the deputy to Eric Pierpoint's sheriff, so he's supposed to be supporting him, but he is against him at all points throughout this film, and he's just such a little pussy that just lets himself be pushed around, and he also, lets himself be led around by Ginger Lynn Allen's character of Sally to do whatever the hell she wants him to do. So finally, by the end, the Hunter von Leer's character of the mayor and Sally and Steve gather a few of the townsfolk and try to go and kill the stranger. And you can imagine how well that turns out for them.
Where's Stowe? There she is.
Stop! We got her! It's Stowe.
And his stupid ass is gone, thankfully, in this movie. But the back history and the backstory with Eric Pierpoint's Gordon Cole and Kathy Long's character of the stranger is very good. But Bridget was her name before she was killed. And a young girl played by Robin Lynn Heath witnessed her death, and it traumatized her, and they were friends. It very much reminded me of the relationship between Eric Draven in The Crow and Sarah. But she is totally even worse than what Sarah was after in The Crow. She is so distraught and everything, she can't even speak anymore. She is so traumatized by what happened to Bridget. But it really is a really cool variation on, like I said, the High Plains Drifter story. And you get those little hints of the Crow in there as well, which is just really cool. And you never, just like in High Plains Drifter, you never really know whether or not the stranger is truly a supernatural character or not. But really well made, well directed, well written action film with a little bit more to it than a normal action film. And I think Kathy Long, even though she was just a kickboxer and stunt double prior to this film and only played a few small roles prior to this, other than the film Nights. The film Nights, she got her biggest role besides this one. And I think she is really convincing, and she was one of the trendsetters alongside Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh and all these other women that played these total badass women before we had women like Scarlett Johansson playing these badasses like Black Widow and everything in these films. So these women don't get enough credit for being the trendsetters that they were for this time. So my final review for The Stranger from 1995, I'm going to give this film a 9.0 out of 10. This would have been a 10 had it not been for those two annoying characters. I guess they were good and they did the roles right to make me hate them like that, but oh my God. The biker characters were more likable than them, you know? So, but anyway, have you seen The Stranger from 1995? And if you have, what did you think of it? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. Well, that's it for another action movie night. If you missed last week's action movie night, check out the link above to get caught up on that one. And if you've missed any other videos, check out this down here where you can watch a playlist of any of our action movie nights that you have missed.